Hey YouTube, it's your girl Mayat, and I'm back with another ChatGPT video. Today I had some acupuncture done for the first time in a while. Let's say a while. The first time I had it was several years ago, and I also only had one session. And my chiropractic office offers acupuncture. So I was like, let me give this another try. I didn't have a bad experience with the first one. It was just brief and the location was far from me, so that's why I didn't make it back. And I thought, what a great topic for my ChatGPT walkthrough video today is learning a little bit about acupuncture. So this is what my conversation will be about this video. So first, let me start out. First of all, I'm using Plus. I have not been on the free one for a moment, you guys. It's like I've had the Plus open. For those of you who are new to this channel, I do ChatGPT videos. The Plus is the monthly subscription level of $20 a month. They have another level, which I believe they call Pro, for $200 a month, and then you also have the free version. So let's get to it. Let me start out by asking, what is acupuncture? So we're gonna find out the what, when, where, who of acupuncture. So what is acupuncture? And I'm typing with my fingers today, you guys. What is acupuncture? Just like literally one or two fingers instead of my whole hand on the keyboard. So that's what it's taking a little bit longer. I felt like I'm left out the C. So if I can put the C, I was like, okay, here we go. So here it goes, telling us acupuncture is a form of traditional Chinese medicine that involves inserting very thin needles into specific points of the body. It is commonly used to relieve pain, reduce stress, and treat various health conditions such as migraines, back pain, arthritis, and anxiety. The practice is based on the idea that energy, or Qi, flows through pathways in the body, and inserting needles at certain points can help restore proper energy flow. All right. When was acupuncture discovered? I'm gonna go back and copy the word acupuncture because it looks like I'm gonna use that word a lot in the next questions. So we have the what is, when was it discovered? So acupuncture is believed to have been discovered over 2,000 to 3,000 years ago in ancient China. The earliest known references come from the Yellow Emperor's Classic of Internal Medicine, a foundational text of Chinese medicine dating back to around 200 BC. However, I'm getting tongue twisted with this word. Archaeological evidence, such as ancient sharpened stone and bones that may have been used as acupuncture tools, suggest the practice could be even older, possibly dating back over 4,000 years. Would I like a timeline? No. Let's see. So I did the what, when, where, how did I copied it, come about? So it's pretty much, I think it's similar. Oh, I got more though. I was going to say it's similar to the last two, but the response to how did acupuncture come about, you can see it broken up. Acupuncture developed as part of traditional Chinese medicine. And here's how it came about. Ancient observations. Ancient Chinese healers noticed that stimulating certain areas of the body could relieve pain or affect internal organs. They believe in a vital life force called qi, which flows along pathways called meridians. Trial and error. Early practitioners likely used sharp stones or bones to press or puncture the skin and observed the healing effects. Over time, this evolved into the use of needles. Meridian theory. Through centuries, and I do not have a knowledge of acupuncture, but we'll plug some of this into ChatGPT. I mean, we're on ChatGPT, but I'll put it on Google, see if it says something similar. Meridian theory. Through centuries of practice and oral tradition, the Chinese mapped out a network of 12 primary meridians and hundreds of acupuncture points believed to connect internal organs and regulate the flow of qi and blood. Philosophical roots. Acupuncture is deeply influenced by Taoist philosophy, which emphasized balance between opposing forces, yin and yang. Disease was seen as a result of imbalance, and acupuncture aimed to restore harmony. Codified in text by 200 BC, so that was mentioned earlier. Codified in text by 200 BC, acupuncture was documented in medical classics like the Hongyi Neijin, solidifying it as a structured medical practice. Let's see, I have the who, what, when, and I'm going to ask it where, but with all of this text, we already know where the where of this is. Where was acupuncture founded? So we already know this, but just for my synchronicity of all the questions, acupuncture was founded, of course, in ancient China. They've been telling us that in the past answers for the last few questions I've had. Where it originated as a key component of traditional Chinese medicine, TCM. Would you like to know how it became popular in the US or globally? Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that's an interesting question. So let's go with yes. So you see how at the bottom it suggests questions or the next step, would you like to know more? So we'll say yes to this, and let's see. Acupuncture became popular in the U.S. through a combination of cultural exchange, growing interest in alternative medicine, and political events. Here's a quick overview of how that happened. Path to global popularity in the 1600s, introduction to the West. Early reports of acupuncture reached Europe via Jesuit missionaries and traders during the 17th and 18th century. Some European doctors experimented with it, but it remained obscure due to skepticism and lack of understanding of Chinese medical theories. Rediscovered in the 20th century, interest grew again in the mid-20th century, especially in France, Japan, and Korea, which developed their own acupuncture styles. Acupuncture arrives in the U.S. in 1971. Acupuncture gained major attention in the U.S. after New York Times journalist James Reston wrote about receiving acupuncture for post-surgical pain while visiting China with President Nixon. His article sparked widespread public and medical interest in the technique. U.S. medical recognition. In the 90s, U.S. medical authorities began to take acupuncture more seriously. In 1997, the National Institute of Health publicly recognized acupuncture's potential benefit for certain conditions like chronic pain and nausea. Licensing and regulations followed in many U.S. states. Today, acupuncture is practiced around the world, especially in the U.S., Canada, Australia, Germany, Brazil, United Kingdom, and South Korea. How much do you guys know about acupuncture, you guys? We just got a whole lesson. So I want to know more about, they said these countries, France, Japan, and Korea, developed their own style. So let me see. Tell me more about number 2. Tell me more about number 2. So you don't have to repeat the question. You could just say the line like I just did. Tell me more about that. So Japan and Korea's role. In Japan, acupuncture had been practiced for centuries, but was modernized in the early 1900s. Practitioners began integrating Western anatom. Oh, that word's getting me tongue twice. Anatomical knowledge with traditional method. This led to more precise needle techniques and the development of meridian therapy, a Japanese style of acupuncture. Korea developed its own variation called Korean hand acupuncture, which focuses on treating the entire body through points in the hand. French influence. In France, acupuncture experienced a renaissance thanks to doctors like Georges Soulier de Morat, who translated Chinese medical texts and helped introduce medical acupuncture to Europe. In the 1920s, French physicians began applying acupuncture using Western medical concept, paving the way for what we now call medical or scientific acupuncture. Integration with modern medicine. By the mid-20th century, some Asian and European hospitals started using acupuncture for pain management, especially for surgical patients or those with chronic illness. In China, following the 1949 Communist Revolution, the government promoted traditional Chinese medicine, including acupuncture, alongside Western medicine. This policy preserved acupuncture and helped develop it into a structured, teachable system. Scientific research began. From the 1950s onward, researchers began studying acupuncture effects on pain reduction, blood circulation, nervous system function. This helped bridge the gap between Asian theory and modern biology through the exact mechanism, though the exact mechanism are still not fully understood. Wow, would you like the breakdown of the difference between traditional Chinese acupuncture and modern medical? Excuse me, guys. Acupuncture. Long pause there. So that's a good question I'm going to ask my practitioner. Does she uses traditional Chinese acupuncture or modern medical acupuncture? Do you guys have experience with either one? So let's look at what the difference is. Would you like? Yes, I would. And here's a clear breakdown. Let's see how it breaks it up. Traditional Chinese medicine, philosophy based on the yin-yang balance, diagnostic techniques, treatment style. Modern, based on Western biomedical understanding, nervous system, muscles, and connective tissue. Focuses on how acupuncture affects nerve stimulation, blood flow, and endorphin releases. Diagnoses is aligned with conventional Western medicine, back pain, migraine, arthritis, no emphasis on Qi, meridian, or traditional Chinese medicine theories. Needles are inserted at anatomical trigger points or motor points, often. So basically, the Western is looking at back pain, Western terms, not really using the traditional Chinese theory of balancing the energy yin-yang and the meridian pathways. So this has been and look at this nice chart. Key differences at a glance feature. You got traditional Chinese medicine and modern medical acupuncture. Oh, I love ChatGPT. I have learned so much in 15 minutes about acupuncture. All right, one final question. Let's see around how much does it cost for an acupuncture session. Oh no, let's do how to find a practitioner. How to find a practitioner. All right, so you have the National Certification Commission for Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine, the Accreditation Commission for Acupuncture and Herbal Medicine, and in other countries such as United Kingdom. Here's a website here, acupuncture.org.uk, the Canadian Association of Acupuncture and Traditional Chinese Medicine, Australian Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine Association. You can ask for referrals from your primary doctor, chiropractor, physical therapist, or friends. How you verify credentials. Find out if a license in your state or country is required. Have they completed accredited training, and do they hold the certification for US? Factors to consider: specialization, treatment settings, and the different styles. Oh, and some questions for you to ask. Call ahead or check their website and ask what conditions do they specialize in, what training or licenses do they have, how many treatments you might need, and what are the fees, and if they accept insurance, HSA, or FSA, you guys. Wow, I am so impressed. So almost always impressed with ChatGPT and what I'm able to learn through it or learn from it about different subjects. So I sure hope you guys have liked and enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and while you're there, go ahead and click that notification button. You want to know when I post the next video, so go ahead and do that. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Until next time, stay blessed.